So goalkeeper used to be a position of strength for Canada, where you could look up and down and say, "Yeah, we're good." Um, Whether it was having Aaron McLeod, Steph LeBay, Kaylee Sheridan, then you have a player like Sabrina D'Angelo who was on the door knocking, now finally in. There was a lot of depth. Fast forward 2023, McLeod has retired. So has Steph LeBay, meaning the goal is now Kaylee Sheridan's to helm, and she's done a great job with it so far. But what do we do in the backup situation? Now, the simple solution is going with players who are getting run. Sabrina D'Angelo's move to Arsenal is definitely great in terms of getting some great matchups. She may not be getting the matchups in terms of frequency, but still a good goalkeeper, and we're seeing good pieces. She did come up with a knock in the She Believes Cup. But let's talk about options past those two. Who would be your third keeper? What are the options that are out there? Well, let's take this through ball. Let's talk about it. So when it comes to goalkeepers, the interesting thing is you never know how deep you are until you're not. Right? We saw this with the men's. Right? We thought we were good with Boyan, Crépeau, and then Dane Sinclair looking well. Crépeau breaks his leg in the MLS Cup final, but then Dane Sinclair's your number two. And then who's your number three? Is it Pantemis? Do you call up Sebastian Breza? Do you maybe try to get one of the Ben Alexander, you bring him in? Do you maybe try to call Owen Goodman to go to the World Cup with you? These are all questions you ask. On the women's side, with Sabrina D'Angelo picking up a knock, it's interesting to start to think, what are the next options there? Now, special shout outs to AC Lang with W Soccer, who has a great depth chart. And to be honest, I like most of the names that are here, so I'm going to leave her link in description. There's a lot of content on Canadian footballers, so if you aren't following her yet, why aren't you? Get on that. But her depth chart has it as this. She's got Sheridan at number one, we all agree. D'Angelo at two, no question. Now, let's play this world where D'Angelo isn't available. I think she should be by the summer, but let's assume she's not, as she's nursing that knock. The number three currently is Luciane Prue, who plays in Portugal, right? So currently she's at SCU Torrens of the Portuguese First Division after she played at Syracuse. And the thing with her is she's been the most consistently brought in as the number three ever since McLeod announced she wouldn't be with the team for a little bit. She's been that third keeper. So if something were to happen to Sarah D'Angelo or knocking all the wood, guys, Kayleen Sheridan, Luciane Prue is more than likely your next goalkeeper up. No question about it. She's been gone to most of the camp. She's there. It's been between her and then a few other names brought in. Now, playing in goal definitely helps. I think what helps is that she's getting consistent minutes right now. So the fact that she's always brought in, also you gotta look at the room that works. There's player option number one. Next player, though she has another player there, I think this player will get a beat. Taylor Beitz. Taylor Beitz is at Nantes in the French second division, going into her second season there. Looking all right, no doubt. Finished playing at Arkansas after a little bit, a Cornwall, Ontario native. Ironically, I know a couple people from Cornwall. Maybe I should reach out. But actually, there's actually a very good podcast interview with my friend Josh from the Step Over podcast. I'll throw that description in there too. I'm going to give you all the descriptions today. But she more than likely, in terms of game time played, would be a name that is looked at as well. That's an option there. Good goalkeeper, already has 34 starts under her belt. And I think right now she could push up, maybe get Luciane Prue off the bot if that's her. Devin Kerr, another Canadian that we sometimes forget about, playing for the Houston Dash. She could be a name that I think could be brought up into the mix depending on how her season is going, especially to reward at the end of that bench if you don't think Luciane Prue is the option for you, or if you think, if you run into injury. Devin Kerr we know there's some familiarity with the NWSL. Now, not all NWSL players get a look, but more often than not, they will get a look. And when it comes to playing at this high level, you want players who are used to that high level. And Canada doesn't have as many goalkeepers who play at a high level. Like Sheridan NWSL is there, but then that's it. D'Angelo is a second keeper at Arsenal, which is great. So she gets good competitive matches when she gets them. But we're hoping the training environment does enough for her that when she gets onto the pitch, she's there. Another name off the beaten path, but familiar if you're looking at the pipeline, Anna Karpenko. Anna Karpenko just finished up. Now, because she's at Harvard, the goalkeeper there, she could be an option, especially pushing through. The problem with her is going to be, unfortunately, game time. She doesn't get enough game time because she is playing collegiate, which means you have the league months, and then you have the spring/summer leagues like League One Ontario where they play, and then that's your limited options. So can she do enough in that time frame to push? I don't know. I think going into next year, her and Jade Rose, we'll get to her with Jade Rose and the defenders. I think that could be a very interesting conversation in terms of where they could end up. But I think those your top four there. You know, there's other names to look at. Chandra Bednard, who's there. Keza Massey's out there. Emily Burns is out there. Whether that's in uni or playing Dion in France. There's a couple options. But for me, I think the 3 to 4 who have a chance of really pushing, we're assuming that D'Angelo isn't healthy. But if D'Angelo is healthy, it's Sheridan and D'Angelo. But after that, Lysiane Krul, we have Anna Karpenko, Taylor Beitz, and Devin Kerr. I think those 4 are looking at it. But right now, it does feel like Lysiane is the front runner in that position. Those are the goalkeepers. Now, what do you think? Do you think there's a player that we've missed that we should be talking about? If not, put it in the comments below. But yeah, those are some goalkeepers that they could look to call up. I don't think they'll go any lower than that. I mean, the U20s do have their tournaments coming up in April, so I doubt that we'll see some of them there. I don't think Anna's eligible anymore. If she is, I mean, that would be another good run for her. But right now, those 4, I think, are fighting for one position. And you don't want to see injuries, let's be clear. But those 4 are there. And if I had to rank them, Lysiane, number 1. I would go, honestly, then Devin Kerr 2, Taylor Beitz 3, and then Anna Karpenko 4. That's how I would rank those 4 goalkeepers. You guys let me know how you rank them. And, you know, if you want to go from there, talk to me in terms of who do you think should be in this conversation that I haven't mentioned yet. I'm going to stop rambling now, guys. Thanks again. We'll talk later.